Welcome to NRI Money Podcast 5. Today we have an external speaker who is an expert on NRI taxation. Why we have thought about bringing an external speaker is simply because uh, we have NRIs who wants to invest in India, who are invested in India, who have properties in India. But the one thing which they are always concerned about is the taxation part of that. How should they be looking at taxation? Whether they should be filing their taxation in India? What are the circumstances? And for that, we have Bharat Sarawagee with us. So just to tell you a little bit about Bharat. Bharat is a chartered accountant with 20 years experience. His speciality is NRI taxation, and he has almost 200 NRIs spread across the globe. So in NRI taxation, his specialization is tax planning, tax return filings, tax withholding, DTA, and residency rules. So welcome, Bharat. Welcome to the podcast, and let's start with the questions actually. Then.
Hello,
Right?
Ritesh.
Hi. So, Bharat, I am also an NRI. So, I'll be asking it not as a third person. Let's say if I'm an NRI and I'm sitting in front of you, I'll be asking the questions like an NRI. So, if I were to ask, what is my residential status for tax purpose? How does it affect my tax liability in India?
Right. Ritesh, since you mentioned you are an NRI, so the first important thing is to see how many days are you staying in India. So this is the most important thing which decide the residency status in India. There's a lot of myth that citizenship decide, as like in US. If you're a US citizen, then you have to pay global taxes in US. But in India, it is how many days you stays in India that decide your residential status. So if you're staying for more than 182 days in India in any financial year, then you become a resident of India.
Oh,
So in
any
any
financial
financial
year.
every year you have to check your residential status. It is
Oh,
not that, yeah, it remain once, but you have to check every year. This is how
oh,
it
great,
works,
got it.
right? And
So,
then
is there
there are
any?
certain,
Yeah,
sorry, I'm interrupting you.
sorry, please go
There are
ahead.
certain
Please go ahead.
conditions also, like if you're having an Indian income of more than 15 lakhs, then this
Hmm.
number of days get reduced to 120 days. It is not 182 days.
Is this a new regulation or it
Yeah,
always
this
existed?
regulation in 2020.
Okay, I don't think many NRIs are
Yeah,
aware
you're
about
not
this
aware.
regulation.
Not aware.
Okay, got it, got it.
Right.
So, my second question is there any difference between NRI OCI for tax purposes? Simply because
There
we
is,
know that, yeah,
yeah, there is no difference for tax purposes. Only if you see the fundamental, there are basically two difference for NRI and OCI. That OCI does not have a voting right in India, and
okay.
they cannot have a Aadhaar card unless they stay for more than 182 days in India in a one particular year. That's the only difference. Otherwise, in tax provision, there is no difference at all.
Got it. So, my third question is, do I need to file an income tax return in India, considering I earn income both abroad and from Indian sources like interest income, dividend income, and rental income? And in all the income, withholding taxes are deducted, as you know. So, am I required to file income tax return?
Yes, you are required to file. You see, there's a taxable limit of 2.5 lakhs in India. If your income exceed 2.5 lakhs, it's your obligation to file income tax return in India. And even if all the taxes, the withholding tax has been deducted, it is beneficial for you only that if you file a return in India, you might get some refunds also, because you will qualify for some basic exemptions, and your interest income and the rental income may get covered from that. So it is always
Okay.
advisable and like beneficial for any NRIs to file return, and then they can claim refund also.
So basically, we are talking about 3,000 US dollar. That if you have more than 3,000 US dollar, you should be doing it.
Yeah, Ritesh, it is always
Yeah.
like it's on the advantage side for any NRI when they file return in India, because they can
Hmm.
avail the basic exemption. The 2.5 lakhs, the basic exemption can be availed, and
Okay.
after that, whatever is the excess tax deposited with the government of India, they can claim it as refund, and that refund will also come with some interest amount. And one more
Okay.
important point I would like to stress on this, like you see, the government is not aware whether you are a resident or a non-resident. So when you file your return, the government also comes to know that you are a non-resident Indian, right?
Okay.
And
Got it.
if you are having any losses in your mutual funds or in your stocks, so that also can be carried forward if you file your income tax return.
Okay. So government will not know that I'm a, oh, sorry. The thing is, should we file as an NRI or do you file as a, you have to specifically state that you are filing as an NRI?
Yeah, you have to specifically mention that you choose a option that you are filing as an NRI.
And
So
the person through
automatically
whom you
the
are doing
tax
the,
also, yeah, there's a different conditions applies for NRI, and for residents there is
gotcha.
a different condition.
Okay. Okay. So my next question is, I have everybody, who's left India, they might be having an old saving account in India, which when they were resident, I still know of a lot of people who maintain their saving account in India. Okay. They have not closed it or converted into an either NRE or NRO account. So what are the consequences?
You see, as per FEMA, the moment you become an NRI or you leave India, you have a compulsory obligation that all your saving accounts should be converted to either NRO account or an NRE account, because
Okay.
they have specific purpose. You see, whenever in an NRO account, whenever you get any interest income, that the withholding tax automatically get deducted. But in case of saving, it does not happen. And
Okay.
FEMA is very strict about all these compliances. So right now, presently, the government is not acting on it, but you never know, the government can come up with some penalty provisions also.
Bharat, as we get a lot of data in India, the data harvesting is happening in India. It's a matter of time, right? Because they will have enough data with them for them to find out about all this thing. And as you are saying that it is always better to do it before they come out with a regulation rather than running after that,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. FEMA is very clear that you cannot have a normal saving account. You have to have either NRO or NRE account or FCNR account.
Okay, that's a very good point. So let's say I have an NRE account in India and make investment from that NRE account. Isn't all the income tax free if investments are done from NRE account?
You see, this is again a very big myth with regard to NRI taxation, that all your NRE investments are tax free. The government has given a clear regulation that only the interest income which you earn in your NRE savings or NRE FD or FCNR,
Hmm.
those are tax free. Rest are all as equal to other NRO account or a normal resident income tax account. So whatever income you are earning in your NRE other than the interest income are taxable at par with resident.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. Let's say I have received a tax notice from Indian tax authorities. How should I respond? What steps should I take to address the situation? I think I'm also aware about that. People are NRIs are getting the notices, but they're actually not responding to that notices or taking that notice lightly. So what is in your view? How should they tackle this?
I believe this is a very big mistake the NRIs are doing by ignoring this notices. The notices are basically seeking information from NRI people, like what is the source of their fund, source of the fixed deposit or the income, or they need to respond to certain queries from the income. The moment they respond, the query automatically get closed. But if you don't respond, it invites a scrutiny of your tax file, and then there are a lot of hassles also for this. So I strongly believe that whenever you see any notices in your email, or you can directly log into the income tax portal and see the
Hmm,
e-proceeding part, where you can find all the notices, and you should promptly respond to those notices.
got it. Bharat, I think a time is coming where an NRI would be coming back to India for vacation or for some particular purposes, and at immigration itself, he'll be asked these questions that you got this notice from income tax authorities and you did not respond. We will
Right.
not allow you to come to India. Maybe I'm joking today, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty serious that these things are possible 5 years down the line.
Yeah, you never know. India is doing big on data, and like the
Yes,
most
data analytics. Yeah.
technology advanced country.
Yes.
Right.
So my next question is, are there any specific deductions or exemptions available to non-resident individuals that could help lower, their tax liability in India?
NRI got some special tax rates for certain income. Like
Okay.
if you are having a dividend income,
Hmm.
for me as a resident, it will depends on my slab rate. So if I earn a dividend
Okay.
income of 10 lakh rupees, so I will be paying 30% tax on that. But for NRIs, it will be straight away 20%. So if you are in the higher bracket, if you are having large amount of dividend, then it is always a beneficial for you being an NRI and you file your return.
Bharat,
Huh.
are you telling me, and this is a question for me,
Hmm.
I'm getting all the dividends, right? And there's a 20% which is cut,
Straight
and
away
I'm on the higher
20%
tax
cut,
slab.
no basic exemption, nothing. So the moment you get dividend, there's a tax of 20%. That is also without the TDS being deducted at source.
Oh, wow. So if I'm having a large amount of dividend income in India, then it is all the more necessary for me
Right.
to actually do the right. I'm getting the tax exemption, which even the normal resident Indians are not getting, right? It's been such a fruitful discussion, Bharat. uh, you know, we will put your website address on our this podcast. And if you could tell us more about the website and where they can reach you, it would be great. Otherwise, NRIZEN as a platform, we help people, NRIs to invest in India, and we would be happy to share their tax, questions directly with you. But if they want to, reach you, okay, how can they reach you?
Yeah. My website is bdsadvisories.com. They can go
Hmm.
through that website and they can directly reach me over WhatsApp also. My phone number is +91 98300 22057.
This episode is part of our 3 episode series on NRI taxation. In the next set of episodes, we are going to talk about double tax avoidance. We are going to talk about buying, selling properties and equities in India. Please like this video, share it with your NRI friends, colleagues, family, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.